I'm Mabel Tay. I'm the publicist for Old School. I'm also one of the original 5 founders of the space, and together we developed this space called Old School, which is a creative commune, a space that's dedicated to artists and studios and exhibitions. I'm currently the publicist of Old School, and my job really is to ensure that Old School stays on the beacon, stays on the radar of artists, not just Singapore artists, but international artists, people who are looking for a space to do exhibitions in Singapore. We want them to come here and present their work. But at the same time, my role is to ensure that we stay on top of the whole dialogue of what's happening in the creative industry, with what's happening with artists, as well as interfacing with media and telling them our story, and as well as telling them the story of especially new artists that are exhibiting in Singapore. Our whole intent really is to be able to showcase new examples, new creativity to the Singapore public, not just within the community, but also to international community. Since we started in 2007, what has happened is we've seen a lot of visitors coming up to Old School and inquiring about new exhibitions that's happening here. So we've become a conduit for artistic creativity, not just in Singapore, but also around the region and perhaps around the world as well. Art is about fulfilling what the artist wants or what the artist needs. Commerce is about fulfilling what other people need. And for a long time, people say that this two does not come together. We created Old School to show that it is possible that a social enterprise like ours can coexist, and we can make an economic model out of it. And in the last 2 years, we've managed to do that. What we want to do is to enable artists that exhibit in Old School to be discovered, so that there is a form of commercialism for them, so that they can make a living out of their work. But at the same time, we want them to be able to stay true to their artistic streak, so that they continue to add value to the culture that we're currently living in, that they continue to be able to entertain with the work that they produce. Technologies are what I call idea accelerators. I mean, whether it's digital, whether it's online, whether it's the web, whether it's a blog, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, I think technology has enabled artists to firstly publicize their work, speed things up very quickly. It's allowed them to go direct between their work and the audience without having to bypass through middlemen. It's also allowed, technology has also allowed artists to get immediate feedback about how well their work is being received. But at the same time, I think technology is, while it's good, I think it's created some difficulties for artists. Specifically, what comes to mind are what I call copyright issues. People are stealing ideas off the web and putting them on t-shirts, putting them on mugs, and I think that's the tension and the difficulty that the artists will have to deal with, because it does not allow the artists to make an earning directly from their own work. So technology, while has a lot of benefits, does have some issues that need to be dealt with. With the benefit of technology, they are able to bring one medium into another, or mix another medium with 2 other mediums. They are able to do collaborative work with 2 other artists that do something different. So yes, I definitely see that they see themselves doing things very, very differently. I think we're going to be seeing a whole new generation of artists that's going to be producing work that's not been seen before. Again, I bring up the example of technology. I mean, if Andy Warhol is alive today, I would imagine that he'll be connecting with his fans through Facebook and updating his fans on what he's doing every day on Twitter. So things are going to change. The relationship between art, commerce, and the audience is going to change. One of the things that we like to see in old school is for the people who work here to collaborate more often than not. We bring in external artists and bring them together with somebody who is already in old school, but what would be amazing would be more of the people who reside in old school or work in old school actually collaborate more within the environment. Otherwise, you might just as well be in the 40th floor of an, of a building downtown, and we think that by being in a village environment, it's kind of like villagey here. Being in a commune actually allows that opportunity for dialogue, allows it for exchanges, and for new creations, the combustion of new ideas, and we like to see more of that happening in old school.